All right, guys. Happy Friday, members. I'm getting this out to you a little bit late here. I apologize. Had some technical issues here. I was all ready to go here. I couldn't get Camtasia to load, and then I had to reboot everything, and I lost some of the work I'd done. So a bit of a cluster here, but I'm going to try and keep this relatively brief. There's not a dramatic change from what we've been talking about for months now. So here's the bullish count. And I know there's a lot on there. We'll break it down here just briefly. So, of course, let's just start with the basics here. So, what do I want to use here? That'll work. I can just do it here. Now, of course, this could be counted multiple ways. As a matter of fact, let me pull that off here. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a more conservative count, actually. So I'm going to stick with that until forced to change it. Of course, this could be 1, 2, 1, 2. Right? There's a number of different ways you can count this as it sits right here, kind of stuck in this range. Now, I've got a couple of things on here. Of course, this set of median lines with our 80% off of this 50 here now already realized, but note here how it's framing the markets rather nicely. This is a 150. Just a little bit beyond here, seems to have it framed nicely here. So, of course, the question becomes, we're here. So, are we coming a little bit lower here? Do we need to retrace deeper to give this a more traditional 2 and then head back up towards the median lines? Here if we just basic right down to the 50. Of course, we got to consider that algos won't care about an X wave here. They'll just use swing low, swing high. So if we're coming down into this range here, well, a couple of things you'll note. I've got 2 anchored VWAPs on here from our absolute low down here. Well, from our retracement low here. The premise that this is our low. Note here picks that up pretty nicely here. So then I've just drawn another one here and changed the color to pulling off of a different pivot here. And you see we come in, bring you down here, right between the 50 and the golden zone. So if we're coming a little bit lower, which is certainly possible, wouldn't alter the count at all. If we're coming a little bit lower, and we don't necessarily need to here, we'll look at that a little bit here. I'm on a daily. Okay, right, kind of an interesting location, what you call an area of interest. You can see you've got, if I pull this over here, we've got a big fair value gap here. So you've got a nice confluence of technical conditions here. We got VWAP, we got our measured move, sweet spot. And then we've got a fair value gap here, which is an imbalance. So the market may want to come down here. Often it will look to rebalance there, i.e. would there be unfilled orders there? We went up pretty fast. Now let's I don't know that there's whole lot more to add to that here. I guess I will take this one off and just focus in over here. We can get rid of you. 1, 2, 1 does look like now this is all just a part of a corrective consolidation. WXY seems the most probable there. Let's go down to a 1 hour here and take a look at it. Now there's a case to be made that we could be done here, because we've got a nice 5 here that comes in. So candidate 1, candidate 2. So we'd be finishing this, right? So Elliott heads will recognize where I'm going here. So WX, ABC into a Y. Could be done. Could be. 1, 2. Well, it's a little deep. A little deep here. So just standard ops, right? If that's a 1. Right, we got wicks. We're a little sloppy down there. So let's go. Let's go platinum here. So we're down here in the extremes here. So we'd look okay. This whole range down here potentially some support. Always just potential. The ABC is pretty solid in terms of looking for a 3 here to get us done here. Down 707. Can't say I like this, right? Potentially now this rolls over. So here, let's push this off because we're not confirmed. So a couple of things. One, this count invalidates here if we break this low, right? So that would be critical. You can already see this kind of setting up here as a possible WX, right? Now ABC down for a Y. That's probably a bit bigger than I need here. So we do something like that. Okay, so could be WX. Now we need ABC. So we're just basic Elliott, right? We're just looking for a 3. We just don't want that 3 to go any deeper than that. We'll have to reconsider the whole thing. As it sits right now, 7, 8, what do I got here? 764, 786, perfectly valid. Oh, we can take this, we'll match the degree. Okay, can we get out of here now? That's really not what. Now, of course, I suppose we could go. This could turn into a diag, right? We could have a. Oh fuck. We could probably do an ABC as a 1. I'm already. I don't know that I'd want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We might, right? It doesn't look like there's a whole lot there. Shit, if I go to a 15, do we really have that? You might be able to make that case. A, B, C. I guess you could. All right, so you got a case here. So this could be just at a lower degree, an A, B, C into a 1. So 1, 2. All right, we're just trying to get a diag started. 5, 3, 5. Maybe you get a 5, 3, 5, 3, 5 leading diag coming out of here. Maybe. Right? It's a little soon to make any calls here about which way we're going here. It's just a little. Okay, let's see how we respond here. This is the key pivot down here, 28,868 along those lines right here. As long as we hold here, the bull count stays in play. What gives it the best potential here is we've got a clear impulse to finish, right? So we start and we end always with 5s, right? That's pretty hard to miss that 5. Then we go into just flop. So this is a hurry up and wait. It's, that's just a guess. We don't know what it's going to be. But that doesn't mean we can't, do some analysis here. So looking at it here, well, it's pretty obvious. Well, here, I don't even draw that line. I don't even need to. I already got a line there. All right, so all these swings, right, a potential, I could probably reset here. Where's the liquidity, right? That's the question. Where is the liquidity to be grabbed? We've probably got 2 levels of it here, got some here. Oh, we can probably assume this is, I would just keep it simple, right? Some sort of an order block here that now partially tapped. Partially mitigated here. It's not by much, but you'd likely have more up here. Lots of liquidity to be mindful of. Oh, shit. All of that really. Here as potential liquidity there that could get tapped. It's just sitting there, right? This is, it's like red cape to a bull. We'll see if we can get this going. Oh, do I have anything underneath? Yeah, we've got on balance volume here with a little divergence here. RSI sitting at the 50, right? We want that from the 50 and higher. That's the best way. Shit, sorry, get that out of my way. That's the best way to get that going. Take the break along the 50. So, would have been nice if this had held as an impulse, but we don't get it, right? Market doesn't cooperate often with what we're looking for. So I don't know that I'm in a hurry to do anything here. I'd like to see, is this going to hold? I'd like to get a little distance from that. Oh, let's put our market structure on here and see if we've got a couple of key spots here. So as we drew them, right, they're not hard to spot, right, where they might be going. And then all of this, all these little gold lines here, that's all just liquidity, right? It's just identifying as we just drew them, right? All the liquidity, here's more, right? I just drew that up there. So there's all these liquidity zones, right, which is what the market is constantly doing. Remember, right, the point of the market, the purpose of the market is to facilitate trade, right? Where does it do that? Where there's liquidity. Where's the liquidity? Around all these pivots. So we'll see how this develops here. The sell-off yesterday, looks like the market is digesting that, right? I'm just taking a peek at the equity indexes here. Kind of a shock value off of the Bank of Japan's, where they're messing with their reserve rates. It kind of spooked the market, went to reclaim almost all of it, and I gave some back. So it's just digesting that. So we've got conflicting information, as is often the case in the markets, but as is the case in a bull market, as I think we can all agree here, at least since late November of last year, we've been in a bull market. Now, you know, we're running out of steam up here. Fed talking about 2 more hikes. You know, it's hard to it's hard to see how we're going to sustain this. But then you look at the earnings and the AI boom, craze, mania, whatever you want to call it, bubble. I think many people are considering it right now. Is that enough? Right? Can, you know, high tide lift all the boats? Whatever, shit. Rising tide lift all the boats. So that seems to be, you know, one of the scenarios here that's being talked about here. But for risk assets like Bitcoin, we're likely, until we get some more, we got to get government clarity. Right? They're holding this up for the good, for the common good. Okay, I'm going to go with that for now. So I don't think you do anything here. There's not really a trade setting up here. I think this is a bit of a hurry up and wait. Let's see, right? Can we hold here? I'd like to see this come out with luck. So when I say that, don't feel like, oh God, does that mean don't short it? No, I'm not saying if you're comfortable, right? There's likely a short there. If you're comfortable with that, have at it. If we do come out of here, if this ends up holding, or we go into a W, we go a little bit deeper here, and then we start to go, right? What are we looking for, right? Elliott 101, right? We're looking for a nice, obvious 5, right? Get that. Now we lean in, okay? Now your risk appetite grows a bit as you have recognition. Okay, oh, I can make sense of this, right? Logically, I can see, okay, does this all make sense? Do I have a 5 followed by, right, little complexity here, but it's the next 5 I'm looking for. So until we get clarity as to how far we're going with this correction, I don't know, no hurry to do anything. Oh, what do I have over here? Let's. I don't think we need to spend a whole lot more time with Bitcoin, right? We spend plenty of time there. Excuse me. ETH again over on BitGet. This is the spot on daily, right? Of course, BitGet is our sponsor, right? So we like to encourage people to consider them if you're looking for an exchange. We're very, very happy with them, particularly if you trade futures. If you like crypto futures, they're one of the best. So links below, and you get a little. Some bonuses and kickers if you use our link, right? Blah, 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 right? Okay, right? Use it if you'd like. Don't if you'd rather not. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. ETH actually, it's about the same. Okay, if this is 1, 2, and this is a pretty good looking 1, 2 here. Here's our significant low, right? We haven't made a lot of change since last week. Oh, here I've got the market structure on here, but that won't really hurt us. So you got a nice impulse here, right? We got what we wanted here. Now, didn't get it here, right? So you would have liked to have seen this. All right, obviously something a little more like this would have been ideal. We don't get ideal. So how do we reconcile this? Well, it looks like we've got to expand a B wave here. We've got, this is kind of a nice feature in the Sonar Labs indicator that we recommend. Geez, here I'm. If you're interested in Sonar Labs, we have a link down below. Gets you 10% off the monthly. All right, there's all my promo. Okay, so it looks like we've got to do this as an A up. It looks like we got to do an ABC here. It looks like an A, a B, and is that our C? Oh, it could be. Right? We just coming up on the 50, down a little bit lower here. Now we don't. This is liquidity, so the idea being here, this could be part of a liquidity grab. If we come a little bit lower here, we have fair value gap and a demand zone. And a high volume node here, right in the middle, we've got an air pocket here where there's just no trading right on the edge of this, right, as I draw this up right here. So, okay, well, you can just look at the chart, right? There's no, it's not hard to see that as a potential air pocket here. Now, again, remember the markets will typically, they like to come right to the edge of it. You get in it, there's nothing there, so then you're likely to fall down to the other edge. So you can see how we could get into this and then head towards the golden zone here. So, let's do it. We could do it 2 ways. Well, here I've got, it doesn't matter. Let's get, all right, so we come into this range. So you can kind of, in your mind's eye, okay, we're going to sweep that liquidity, come down to the golden zone. There's demand. Out we go. So you've got a candidate here for this to come down. So if we do come down here, if this is whatever we're doing here, if we're going to come down into this range here, that would be something I'd be interested in. And it's certainly low risk, right? Which is, okay, what are the qualifications? Well, do we have pattern recognition? Do we have some demand? Is it logical? Does it make sense? Do we have high volume? Again, I've been kind of railing on this idea of we don't trade magic boxes, right? It has to make sense logically. You have to understand why there might be support there. So something like that. Now, again, you don't need to necessarily sit here with a limit order. We're looking for a reaction there at a strategic zone. If we get the reaction, okay, great. I'm on a daily here. Let's go to a 2 hour. You get the reaction. Okay. It can get a little squirrely down here when you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C. It's possible. We could be done there. Oh, pardon me. I'm looking for a 5 here. Let's do it. 1, 2. I can't get an impulse there. That's really, I don't know if that's worth counting. It's a whole lot of chop. I might go up to a higher time frame rather than lower and just say, okay, what is the broader? Let's get you off of there for a sec. What is the broader swing structure implying? Rather than you take it down to a 2 minute and you're trying to get every squiggle there. It's not my style. This is a kind of a. I'll tell you what I would do, right? I would just kind of look at this and say, okay, I do that. Now, when I do that, that doesn't mean I want the breakout. No, right? So a channel like this, the breakout is liquidity bait, right? We've talked about that before. So all of this is trend line liquidity here. So potential, and then we got a fair value gap up here. So all of this is areas that would be of interest. If this needs to come down lower, I'd be more inclined to be looking for a play like this. Let's grab, because every one of these pivot. Well, I'm on a 4 hour here, so guaranteed. Stops, right? So what is it? It's just liquidity, right? So if we come up here and then come down lower, oh shit. Oh, I suppose we could do this as W. As a matter of fact, that actually looks better. That looks like a better fit. A, B, C, W, X, A, B, C, Y, something like that. Oh, maybe we get up here into this fair value gap, right? Look how fast we came down. Is that yesterday? No, pardon me. It's because we're on a 4 hour. So, area of interest. Certainly reasonable. Now, let's not trade magic boxes. So, let's put that up here and see how we look here. Well, here we're right in the value area, which often, right, it's just, I wish they let you do this, but you can kind of see here, okay, where are we? We're right in the pocket, right? Is there any advantage here? Well, when we're in that kind of a zone, buy the lows, sell the highs, right? So the buy the low play may have already come and gone. Now you want to sell the high. So does that fit with the broader structure here? Okay, well, if this is WX, this is so ugly. Let's go with a contracting diag here, right? Lengthen the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's ugly either way. Let's call it an A, B, right? Then you'd be looking for this just on the other side, right? Remember, algo always on the other side. Now, we don't know that this is a solid low, but right now, if we push away from it here, you can kind of see, oh, hey, we pop a little bit past value. Oh, we'll go into a golden zone. We know an algo is going to fire there. Okay, well, that's a reasonable short if you're looking for a short. I like to stay on the long side with the majors, so I'd be down here going, hey, can I buy it down here? I got a bit of an air pocket down here. I've got structure here. I wouldn't be unhappy buying it right there. Again, I'm very long of Ethereum, so it's not like I'm rooting for it to sell off. But if it does come down here, that might be an opportunity to say, hey, we'll pick up a little more. Well, we could probably just from here know where I'm going to go next here. I'd have to look at both of these if we got something like that. If I want, right now, remember when you do this, it's not necessarily an improvement. So I would pull back here and stay consistent with the wave structure of 1, 2. Jesus, I keep hitting this in my glasses. Okay, WX, come down here, interested. You got a nice high volume node right here that's We're not even including in the draw because I'm going this way. So all of this down here of interest, if offered. Right? Can we get a golden down here? Maybe. Doesn't need to be golden to be very tradable. We could trade it off the 50, right? So we'd have this algo if we come back up here and then come back down here. Here's the trade. Boom, off you go. And the idea would be we're going way up here for our third. All right, so that's kind of a review there. All right, what else do I have? Let's in the crypto space, I'll do. Let me finish up here in crypto because there was not a lot to choose from. So this is one that I use. Well, let me go to. Oh, I'm not going to feed you an affiliate link or anything like that. I just think it's a quality product, and it's very 9, 10, 15, maybe $15 a month. Very, very reasonably priced. A lot of information here. I use it often if I'm looking for something, or just you got a little appetite to put on something. In crypto, this is a great place to come look. So often it's just a good, literally a filter to see what's, I mean, there's a lot of, they've got just a ton of ways that they give you, ultimately their conclusion. And if you look right now, but without going into all of it, I'll let you kind of dig around in there. If you're interested, I think you can play with this into the block without a paid account as well. So all I did was here just go to filters and say, okay, well give me let's say 10 million and above, right? So get all the majors. And really all I'm looking for is, okay, what's bullish? Oh, what else could we do here? Anything else I want to have in here? Yeah, that's good. Okay, so God knows, what do we got? I don't know, 16,000 cryptocurrencies. And I'm doing this on a 30-day range. So of all, with those filters applied, right, that I applied based on, right, market cap and the bullish signals. Now, they're bullish signals. Again, I'll let you read on this. These are all on-chain signals, which we as technicians don't apply in the same way. So this is just another way to get some additional input into analysis here. So I use it since I'm not an expert here. I'm kind of relying on their competence in terms of what they're putting together. Now, if I want to look at it here, this is the only product or the only pair that came up. So I can go in here and dig a little bit deeper here. Again, I'm not trying to sell you this. It's one I use that I like, that you can dig if you want to get into the weeds and all the on-chain metrics. There's plenty here. So let me just go back to that. So you see that of all the cryptocurrencies, the only thing that's even mostly bullish, it's not even bullish, it's mostly bullish, is GMX, right? So this is, I didn't know what they were, right? They're apparently they're an exchange, right? So what do? I go to CoinGecko and go, okay, well, who are these guys? I don't recognize them, right? So I had to read that, oh, it's a decentralized exchange. I don't know where they're based. Likely not available for U.S. traders without a VPN, since it's decentralized. But you can trade them on BitGet. So I went to look them up. Let's do that. All right, so looks kind of interesting. So this is GMX to the dollar tether on BitGet. Looks interesting, right? So it's a little funky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gives me my initial impulse, right? Note here, you've got to expand the B here to give you a true 3, but then this is to the tick. Right, things that don't happen randomly, right? So there's our 4 into the 5, A, B, C into the B, and then this long waterfall for the C. So I get an A, B, C into a 2. So I get a deep retracement here on the 2. But then coming out of the chute, what's interesting, I got to do another expanded B again, right? Just I had to do here and here. Interesting, right? You don't see that so often where you've got 3 in a row with expanded Bs. Now, my count the right count? I'm never one to tell you that, but that's a count, right? That, barring somebody correcting me, I think it's valid. So okay, then we get a little sloppier here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's decent. A, B, expand the B, right? That's all wick, but it nonetheless. Look, we go right up here to the supply zone, then come back down to the 50. So when we're looking for a 2 between the 50 and the golden zone, okay, well that's, thank you very much. Lower end of this distribution here, so we come right to the 50. Now I've just put a channel on it. Here's a reasonable target, but plenty of resistance to get through on the way up. So if we're going into a 3, you know, don't just expect it to do that, right? You might anticipate a little bit of a pullback, you know, something like that to get us there if we're going up to that 3. So the channeling would be a nice initial tool. You could use a set of median lines. Same difference right here as we're getting it rolling. High volume up here, supply, good target. So that would be on my radar here. I'm on a daily. Let's go down to a 4. See how far we are into that. Shit, is that a new low? Let's take a look here. Ooh, it looks like it is truly equal lows. Oh, come here. Did it clear it, or is it true? Oh God, I think it's legit. Yeah, it is. Okay, so you could actually call that a 2, right? Doesn't overlap, right? Certain rules you cannot break. And an overlap on the 2, at the start of the 1, is one that is just rock solid. Can't break that one. Okay, so we can expand to B. We cannot expand to 2. So you're kind of stuck with 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? You know, that's, it is valid. That could still be going, right? See, I mean, it's kind of the same thing here. I'd probably do something like this. Okay, well this is abnormal. Right now we're back in this nice little channel here, heading up subdivision. It cleans up a little bit better, 3, 4 there. So you actually could probably do it here and just allow for this extension to be in the 5th as we come up here to this supply here, right? Tapped a little bit, right? There's gonna be more in there. Now this is just a quick pump and go, or tap and go. So you know, be mindful that could easily break. Note the upslope of the geometry. So you've got a few things going for you here, and then you've got these big fair value gaps here on the other side. So if we push past this on the idea that it's already mitigated, that you come up here if we're going to go a little bit higher. And I'm giving you a bullish perspective because what we want is to see this complete and then start coming down. Right? That's the setup. Oh, so here. Right, since we don't have this yet. Do I have anything underneath? I don't. Okay, so let's go with 2. This is let's say I'm penciling that in. I don't know where that's going to go yet. It's just we're rolling, right? This looks like. I would kind of push this off here. It's too unclear, right? It's something going on here. I need to see something. I need to see the break of this channel, come down here, test some of the support before you could really say, okay, I see it. From an Elliott perspective, right? So from just market structure, okay, higher high, higher low, just barely. Higher high, you know, we're trending. One for the radar, if you're open-minded to that, and then based off of it's the only cryptocurrency among those filters, right? 10 million or above, right? I wouldn't trade anything below that. It's the only one. Interesting. All right, and again, that's 30. And I looked at them on 7 days, 24 hours, 90 days. There's very little by their criteria with those filters that's bullish. Almost nothing. God damn, I keep hitting that. Okay, so where did I want to finish up with? Solana. This doesn't look like it's not really ripe yet. I come down a little bit lower. That's one I'm watching here. The C3 AI. We've looked at that. Let me get rid of that. I know that's annoying. And let's go to. Let's go to. No, I don't want that. I want. Oh shit! No, I'm gonna. Here, I wanted to look at Microsoft, right? So we've looked at GMX. Now Microsoft, You know, if you want to get into the AI boom mania craze, I mean, you guys certainly got plenty of big players here. This is kind of interesting. So it looks to me like we've got 1 2 1 2, and we've got a candidate here for 3 to be in. Now we get the earnings blowout, right? So they're in good shape, and they're going to be leading along with Google and Nvidia, and the big dogs are going to be, you know, certainly influential. Let's say it that in the AI revolution. So you'd like to see this come a little bit lower, because we had a very sharp 2 here, ABC into this. Well, fuck. Oh, it doesn't matter, right? It's an ABC. But sharp, right? We'd like to see this, you know, little alternation. Could be a triangle, doesn't have to be a zigzag. Could be a flat. Just a little alternation would make you feel better about that. Now we've got some high volume and low volume nodes here, so I'd be looking, you know, kind of, you want to consider, okay, if I could get in down here where I have these low volume nodes here, right, or the ledges. If we come down here, that would be of interesting. Now note here, I've also got a fair value gap that's unmitigated down here, right in the midst of what I just drew there here, which is just kind of emphasize, let's do it this way, low volume nodes here, right, which would make sense that we'd have a fair value gap there, right? Again, we're trying to be logical and not trade magic boxes. Okay, that makes sense. Well, we went through so quickly, so obviously, right, there's going to be a low volume node. So if we come back now, so certainly could be done. Oh shit, let's go to a 4. These get a little gnarly here. ABC, possible. 1 2 3 4 5. A wave, possible. I'd prefer this trade as an A wave because I want the B and the C for the 4 down here at the 38. As we were just kind of looking at it here. I want it a little bit lower here. So if we, oh, do I have? Yes, I do. So here I'm pulling from the 2 through the swing high here. Here's my sweet spot here. If I just expand it, 23 to the 38. That's my sweet spot for the 4, right? Which all kind of lines up with everything we've got here. Trendline liquidity here. So looks like some of that was already tapped. Oh, did they get it? Not have gotten it. Oh, let me get your, oh shit. Well, they came right to, we got a true double there. Oh, pardon me. No, they didn't. Oh, I can't see it. Right, so liquidity still down here. Right, all of this liquidity that can be grabbed down here. So if this is 1 2 3 4 5, well then you've got an A wave here. If it's A B C, looking for the B, down for the C, that's what I'm kind of looking for. But this would be one for longer term positioning. Certainly you could trade it with options if that's your preference, right? But now you're buying time, right? This is not necessarily something you'd want to, well, I shouldn't say that. If you're looking for a longer position trade, you're gonna have to just, you know, it's an expensive stock. Options, right? You're playing the clock. So whatever is appropriate for your risk tolerance and your account size. If we come down here, I mean, you could do this with options, looking for that move into the 5th. Keep in mind, if this count is correct and it's going to play ball, we're just putting in the 3, 4. Right, the upside here is pretty gigantic. And even just using traditional Elliott swing relationships, right, now here would be the 3 at the 2618, right, since we've already gone back past the high probability zone. If we're going to go up to, you know, that may be it. We didn't quite get there. Coming down for the 4 into the 5, well, now you might, well, how can we do this? All right, if this were the 4, if we hold the 38, and I don't have this, right? So just looking for targets up here. If we come up the length of the 1 projected from a proposed 4, again, don't have the 4. 1, 1, 2, 7, 2, any of those would be good targets up here for that 3, 4, 5, right? So if you're gonna play options, you'd rather see this come down a little bit lower. So your market's going down, so puts will be more expensive, calls will be a little bit less expensive here. High volume node. Now we come out of here. If we start, right, there's a place where you could do it. And by this time, right, why would you not want to do 4 to the 5 here? Because think about where you are in terms of the swing structure, or oh, here, let's do it. Just discount range, right? What's the It's the discount. Oh shit, I don't want to do it. Come here, right? So we want to buy it on sale. So here's where we'd be on sale, right? So if you're going up here, now there's, without getting into a whole dissertation on it, this would be the area you'd want, right? So if you can come down here, get down here, unless you have a deeper 4, right? That could work, right? It's not like we don't see 4s that go past the 50 or something like that. Would be just idea. Maybe you get a bigger 3, smaller 5, right? Usually the extension in the 3 or a ripping 3, you won't get as big of a 5. But try and be mindful of buying at a discount as opposed to buying in the premium. Again, there's ways to do it, but we'll save that for another day. Okay, I got Microsoft. How am I doing? 35. Oh, it's going to be short. Let's finish up with the S&P here. This is kind of interesting. Well, here you see I've got them side by side, as I often will view them. So I've got Bitcoin on one side and the SPX on the other. So this is interesting as we get up here. Is that me or that's for? Let's take them off for a second. So should draw your attention to what we've just done with that median line. So if we think about what we've done here, it's hard not to see the perfect zigzag here. So the 535 is just textbook, as good as it can get. But what do we do with that first bit, right? You want to call it a 5, but you can't because it doesn't meet Elliott guidelines. So you've got to go with a with an ABC into a W, ABC into an X, and then this giant ABC here. Seems like the best fit as we sit here. As tempting it is to look at this and go, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? But it doesn't quite work from Elliott guidelines for a diag. Boy, it's close though. Look at that. The overlap is mighty close. You got a 3 coming down here, so yeah. See, you can't quite get it to work. This would be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, right? So it doesn't play because here's why, right? So I think we've looked at this in the S&P. Ah, damn it, come here. Right, it's not long enough. So because it would be a diag, the 5th is not longer than the 3rd, so it doesn't meet those requirements. It's just a little Elliott refresher because it is. Oops. It's very tempting to want to look at it that way because your eye sees the 5, right? So A, B, 3, 4 doesn't work. So as we come back up this way, right, we see, well, okay. From the 50. Pretty good looking impulse, excuse me. So, okay, we've blown through the golden zone, everything up here. Now, last stop here would be the 889, or what have I got? 887 and the 90, right, for potential flats, right? So that's why the 90's there. So, of course, we can't eliminate the possibility that this could be A, B, C, and that the whole thing is just an X wave. It actually is not. That wouldn't be shocking because just at the time when everybody's absolutely sure, oh, the water's fine, right? It's safe to be long now, and then the market starts to come down. So an ABC would make this a WX, Y, X, and then we'd be looking for 3 to come down to challenge these lows. How realistic is that? Well, you can't eliminate anything. ABC. Now we're going to know. How we're going to know, right? We're not going to know until we see what happens here. Do we go up? Do we get a 5th? If we get a 5th and we take out this high, we are in a raging bull, right? And then you will expect a correction, but then we go again. Would be the anticipation. If it's an ABC and we don't, well, we get a lower high here and then a lower low. Oh, right. Then, right now, what do we got? A, B, C, right? Going down. A lot has to happen for that to be the case. I'm not ready to go there yet, but it is just interesting how this median line has been such a magnet, as they often are, right? Algos use them. So it's such a magnet to tag. Now we got the 80%. We actually just missed here. We got it right there. Now if I put the market structure back on here, oh, where are you? Right here. kind of interesting. We're right in the last little bit of supply here out on the daily. Last little bit of supply, just beyond. Just beyond. So possibly, right, there's one more little kick up here. Ring the bell on the median line, and then we start. Now, what do we get? Do we get a 3? Wouldn't shock me at all. Neither one would shock me, right? I mean, I've just been doing this for so long. There's very little I haven't seen. It's tempting to think, right, that the top is in. A lot of people think it is. 2 more rate hikes, 24, 25. Is 25 before, right? The latest projection as to when they start lowering. They certainly are not advertising that they're lowering anytime soon. So, you know, when you're in a raging bull, all news is good news. Now, yeah, yesterday, a little panic selling. But look how quickly it was absorbed. And I shouldn't say that. Yeah, we're back up on the highs, right? Just quickly absorbed, right? So just freaks the market. What happens there? Algos. That right? So that's what triggers that sell-off, right? That's not the guys at Goldman Sachs going sell, 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 sell. The software's doing it. So again, quickly absorbed, right? So the bad news of yesterday is already. Well, it'll be interesting to see how we go next week, right? Is that just forgotten? And it was just a little algo freak out, little mini flash crash, just triggered off of keywords. What shit? Interest rates. Okay, I think that's all I got. So not putting a whole lot of trades in front of you because they're not there. Essentially, I'd keep my eyes on Microsoft. I'm certainly watching the SPX. I actually have a small call spread here, looking for the market to come down, right? Just counter trend, right? Small, just going for the potential retrace here. Whether if the top's in, looking for either the start of a deeper correction or the start of the 4 into the 5. GMX, I think that's tradable if you have access. If you've got an exchange where you can get access to that, and then Bitcoin and ETH. We kind of been through this. You know, if we come down a little bit lower, okay, well then the 2's going lower. All of this rolls down here, and then we're looking down here at 27. Okay, guys, that's all I got here. We'll be back next week. The live streams have been going well. Great participation from the members. So any and all are welcome to join us on those. Members, of course, get to post their charts and their assets and what they're interested in, and those have been, I think, good sessions, and a lot of good ideas, and idea exchange comes from those. So I'd encourage you to participate if you've not in the past. And of course, you can always join us for free over on our Discord, or jump into the belt system, white belt. Of course, everything at this point, after 5 years, most people know that that's free. But then there's new people coming into the market every day, so that's why I remind you. Okay, guys, have a good weekend, and I'll catch you next week.